Hi, I'm Tina with Sponge and Stamp. Welcome to my YouTube tutorial. Today's project is this super sweet kitty cat birthday card, and I'm going to be using the brand new cat punch from the Stampin' Up! 2017 holiday catalog, which will be going live on September 1st. We're also going to be using a couple of other products that are in the new holiday catalog, and one is the black rhinestones. And we're also going to be using this beautiful vintage crocheted trim. It is so pretty. And then we're going to be using new from the annual catalog is the Polka Dot Classics embossing folder. We're going to be using an oval thinlet from the oval layering ovals. We're also going to be using the triple banner punch. Basic black ink. We're going to be using some clear embossing powder, our Versamark embossing buddy. The image is the image from the Butterfly Basic stamp set, and we're using the Happy Birthday. We'll be needing some scissors to cut our ribbon, bone folder, adhesives, and then the cardstock and the designer series paper. We're going to be using from the Fresh Florals, the new in color, one of the new in colors, powdered pink. We need one strip of 1 inch by, I have this cut at 4 1/4 for the sentiment. We are going to be using a scrap piece of basic black cardstock to cut our oval. Then we have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that is cut at 5 by 3 3/4, and we have our powdered pink base that is cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, we're also going to be using the Big Shot for our embossing and a heat gun for the wet embossing. Okay, so let's get some of this stuff moved out of the way here. And we're going to start off by folding our card and giving it a nice crisp fold here. We're going to set that aside. We're going to take our Whisper White cardstock here, and I'm going to run it through the Big Shot using the Polka Dot Basics embossing folder. I'm just going to slide it right into the center here. I'm bringing my Big Shot. I've got my tab set at 2. I'm going to put my cutting plate down. We're making a sandwich. I'm going to put the embossing folder down. We're going to run it through with the edge of it, the closed part, through first. That way it doesn't want to crack or break on us. So there we go. For a lack of better terminology, we're just going to, whoops, needs to be on tab 1, not tab 2. Okay. Bring this back in here, make our nice little sandwich, crank it through. And there we go. Isn't that cute? So super easy. We're done with that, so we're going to move that out of the way. While we have our Big Shot out, I'm also going to bring in my magnetic cutting plate. Okay, I need a sandwich here. We're going to lay our cardstock down there. Line this up to try to fit this on this little piece of scrap. Here we go. We're going to crank that through. There we go. Easy peasy. Okay, so we're done with this. We're done with that. We're going to now we're going to take our designer series paper here, and we are going to just punch us out a super cute little kitty. Isn't that cute? I love this punch. This punch actually coordinates in the holiday catalog with the Spooky Cat stamp set, and you can cut the little kitty out. You can cut it out in all different designer series papers or regular cardstock. Do it any way you want to. It is super, super cute. And so, let's see. Then we are going to take our little rhinestones, and I'm going to use my little poker tool here to pull up them, and I'm using the little ones. And we're just going to line around the collar, where the collar would be with them. Just like that. And one more. I think this card is really simple but so cute, and it's really easy to make just using a few different products. There we go. How cute is that? And then if you wanted to, in this Spooky Cat, there are his little eyes and his little nose that you can stamp on there, and I had one somewhere that I could show you, but I misplaced it. But anyway, super, super cute. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do, move those out of the way. We've got that, we've got that. We're going to attach the black, basic black cardstock onto the Whisper White. Just kind of eyeball where we might want it to go. I know I want some room for our sentiment on the bottom, so I'm just going to move it a little bit closer to the top. Maybe it's more centered. Okay, now we're going to take our crocheted trim, and we're going to cut a piece off long enough to tuck under on both sides. I'm going to use some glue dots for that. And I'm going to put a glue dot on one side. And, whoops, it came off on my finger. It stuck to my finger. Okay. Okay, there we go. And we're just going to place it about where we want it to be, which I think I want a little bit of the white showing. And straighten this out a little. Oops. Okay, let's do this again. Try this one more time here. Okay, put that there. Pull it up, tuck it down and around. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to our powder pink base. And just center this right here on here. Right here on here. Right here. Okay, okay. That looks pretty good to me. Now we're going to take some stamping dimensions, and we are going to put them on the back of our kitty kitty, and I'm just using 2. There we go. Pull those off, and then just kind of place them where you think you might want him to or her to go. Our little pretty little kitty. Since she's pink, she should be a she, right? Okay, so now we're going to put this aside, and we are going to stamp our happy birthday sentiment on here. So I'm just using my embossing buddy, and what that does is it just keeps your embossing powder from sticking where you don't want it to stick. And I'm also going to bring in our black archival ink. I'm going to move this glue out of the way. I'm going to bring in, this is just some computer paper, and this is just to catch any embossing powder that may, well, that will be on there, so there will be no waste. Okay, so I am going to get our stamp. I'm going to ink it up first in some Versamark. Get it all nice and inked up. Then I'm going to take it into my black archival ink. And then I'm just going to stamp it pretty much in the center here, because we're going to flag the ends. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to take our clear embossing powder and just kind of sprinkle it on here, just like so. And that looks pretty good. Well, we got a little bit right there. Okay. Now I'm going to put this back into our jar. I usually have these in like those little Rubbermaid tubs, because it's easier and you can just spoon it out and it pours right back into the tub, but I haven't done that yet with this one. We're going to close this up, close our black archival ink up, bring out our heat gun, and just carefully, not to burn ourselves, I don't know. See, look at that. Isn't that pretty how that does that? I absolutely love it. Okay, that's done. Now, I'm just gonna let that cool down. Then we're gonna bring it into our triple banner punch and just kind of eyeball where we might want to cut that. I think that that's probably good. I hope. Looks good to me. Bring it to the other side and do the same thing. There we go. Now I'm going to put that up with some dimensionals as well. And I think 2 will probably be good for this. Okay, then I'm going to take the dimensionals off, or not the dimensionals, but the backing off. And place it where I think it may look good, which is right about there, I think. Then we're going to take a regular basic rhinestone. What I've done is I've already colored it with a retired blendability. I use Blushing Bride. But you can use anything. If you can use any pink Sharpie, light pink or whatever, or you can just do a plain rhinestone. Or there is, which I don't have, or I probably would have used that. There is in the annual catalog some brand new embellishments, and I can't think of the name of them, so I'm looking it up real quick for you. The glitter enamel dots. And they come in, Dapper Denim, Crushed Curry, Berry Burst, and Old Olive. And they go from darker to lighter. So you could always use the Berry Burst in like the light shade. And that would probably be very, very pretty. You can use anything you want or nothing at all. And there we go. Isn't that sweet, cute, and easy? And again, that cat punch is in the new holiday catalog that goes live September 1st. And if you are not already working with a demonstrator and would like to have one of the catalogs, or if you don't have the annual catalog, the new annual catalog, I would love to send you one and would love to be your demonstrator. And you can contact me at www.tinacarini.stampinup.net or on Facebook at Sponge and Stamp. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed our cute little card today.